Hey guys, and welcome to the battlefield where once again we have a legendary Total War Warhammer 3 game to showcase for you. I'm a Rubber Ducker War, but today we're going to be taking a look at Coop's Slaanesh build, taking on the evil and conniving forces of Grand Cathay. Should be a good fun scrap, pretty interesting builds on both sides, so let's delve into this. Of course, we have the, centerpiece of today's video, which is going to be the Eternal Entourage. I showcased them in a domination game a couple of videos ago, but this is their first look in land battles, I believe, that we've shown for them. We had a lot of Slaanesh on the channel recently, and they've certainly been, I think, buffed by their recent Regiment Renowned. This one, as well as the Bringers of Beguilement, who are fantastic as a unit. We have the, oh god, that's not the leader. Where's the leader? It is the leader. We have the Herald of Slaanesh, kind of a Shadows magic. Very popular pick nowadays, Shadow magic. It's just so good. It's been good for, years at this point through Warhammer 2's life cycle, and that's followed over into Warhammer 3. We have Enfeebling Foe, we have Pit of Shades, and we also, of course, come in with the Portal Glyph, allowing some Chaos Fury summons, and Furies are just so freaking amazing. Probably the best backline harass unit in the game, and the fact you can summon them makes them even better. Speaking of Furies, we've got 2 on the left-hand side, 2 on the right-hand side, and in the main battle line, it is a bucket ton of Marauders. This is basically what you see 9 times out of 10 from Slaanesh. I really wish Demonettes were a bit better. If you guys have any good Demonette replays, feel free to send them in. I'd love to do a highlight video on them. We, of course, do have the Exalted Demonette Regiment of Renown, the Bringers of Beguilement, a standout unit in the Slaanesh roster. The fact they can cause Rampage is so good. I've been over that multiple times why I think causing Rampage is a ridiculously powerful ability, in the same way that Nets and Slows are very good. We do have a Cultist of Slaanesh, who seems to be in some Lycra leggings, charging forwards towards the enemy in a rather weird battle attire there. But, of course, going to be coming in here with, I assume, the summon. Hey, look, it's the Demonette summon, so maybe we will get to see some Demonettes on the battlefield. For the force of Grand Cathay, up in the skies, you have the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin. Very cool looking unit. I love their, inside their wings, I think, go all sparkly, which is pretty damn badass. They're going to be escorting a Dragon-Blooded Lord, coming in with the Ancestral Warrior summon, but interesting enough, also the Blossom Wind. Never really seen that used that effectively. We have Storm of Shadows. This does have a blind effect, so maybe it will be able to work in their favor. Apart from that, just standard Grand Cathay Onion build, load of Spearmen, load of Jade Warriors, basic, cheap and cheerful troops, got some Halberds in the back and a nice central pocket of Ironhell Gunners mixed in with Jade Warrior Crossbowmen and a Terracotta Sentinel just to add a bit more punch there in the middle. Really like this build, going to be a good fun one, so let's delve into this. Furies are dangerously close here to the Righteous Lancers. They do not want to take this fight, but it looks like a fight they shall have to take. Righteous Lancers are going to absolutely body the pure Furies. Now, it's a little bit of a bait here, because it could allow the other Furies to get a rear attack in the enemy, and that looks like it's are we going to be seeing that? No, they kind of float around. Half of them get caught up and do a charge. The rest of them are moving on towards the enemy back line. Look at the bomb rush in and shut down the Ironhell Gunners. Grand Cathay player cannot really defend this. He has no cavalry to pin in the Furies, and his flyers are kind of elsewhere. So not a bad little gambit, sacrificing 1 unit of Furies to jump on the back line. Don't know if it's going to be worth it cost-effective wise, though, unless they really are able to break several of these units off the battlefield. I think an early push there from the Slaanesh player, a little bit too early. The Eternal Entourage moving around the flank alongside the Herald of Slaanesh. Main infantry line is still pushing forward. How did the backline push get on? Not very cost effective at all. So Ironhell Gunners, 2 of them down to about half HP, and that is 4 dead units of Chaos Furies for your troubles. I see a lot of players do this, like experienced players as well. Coops have been around for a long time. Just hold off on the Furies, like push kind of like now with the Furies would be so much more effective. Ironhell Gunners alongside the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen are peppering down the front line. Slaanesh are beating at the gates here on top of the Spearmen and Jade Warriors, doing some decent damage. It looks like the Righteous Lancers are charging after the Herald here, trying to take her down as swiftly as possible. She is escaping though to the safety of the Spearmen, who should be able to ping in the Righteous Lancers and hopefully drag them to their doom. She's taking a lot of damage, though, despite Locust of Grace being popped. We're going to Pit of Shades go down the back on the Ironhell Gunners. Likewise, we have the Eternal Entourage, who are going to get a big, fat, juicy rear attack on the Righteous Lancers with Enfeebling Foe popped. This is all of a sudden turned into a fantastic engagement for the forces of Slaanesh. Look how quickly the Righteous Lancers get absolutely bodied with that Enfeebling Foe popped. There's a Ancestral Warrior summon, maybe coming in a tad too late. It should be able to save the General. Eternal Entourage definitely want to back out here as quickly as possible. We also get that Blossom spell, which I've never seen do that well, but it's going to be coming down the line doing pretty decent damage to the spears, as well as the Eternal Entourage there. In the main fight, we do have Demonette summoned. They hopped on top of the Iron Hell Gunners. They take significant damage, though. I'm assuming they ate a volley to the face. More Marauders are beaten out the gate, but it looks like Grand Cathay relatively comfortable at the moment. The Brings of Garment are basically full health, and they have got into the back line, rampaging the Iron Hell Gunners into a frenzy, screaming mad ramblings about some kind of Dragon Emperor god, which we don't believe, and they've just charged headlong into combat. Crossbowmen are going to continue to fire in, but they are suffering a little bit from line of sight. They're trying to loop their shots up and over into the Hell Scourgers, who are, of course, shielded, so they won't mind too much. We do have the Eternal Entourage moving up around the back line, and there is a lot of pockets to try and abuse here in the form of the Crossbowmen and the Iron Hell Gunners, and that's just what we're going to get here. They do go for a glorious charge down as the shock waves of a Pit of Shades does interrupt our cinematic approach there, doing some big damage to the Jade Warriors. Also going to rip away the Iron Hell Gunners, who foolishly charge into hand-to-hand melee because of that rampage. Pretty decent damage there. The Brings of Begarment doing a fantastic job. Look at this, rampaging at the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen once more, and now we have the new ROR, the Eternal Entourage, and a fantastic job bouncing around the back line there. It looks like we do get yet another summon of the Ancestral Warriors. Probably not in the most cost-effective kind of area of the battlefield to use them realistically, but it's a desperate attempt to save the Dragonblight Lord, so I think it is certainly worthwhile if this does pay off and the Dragonblight Lord is able to get out of there. They're really struggling against the mass of the spears, who are pinning him in and poking at his horse. And it turns out horses don't really like being poked by spears. You can trust me on that one. Chaos Furies are diving down on the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, doing decent damage to the Iron Hell Gunners, and at the same time, somehow the Righteous Lancers, just 2 models left, they come back for vengeance. I didn't hear no bell. Floating over to chase the Herald of Slaanesh, who's fleeing before their might, at least in their eyes, although realistically, the Herald's just bouncing around up to no good and slaughtering peasants in the neighbourhood. Sounds like a Bretonnian lord. The Eternal Entourage doing a decent job just beating back Peasant Longsword, being a real fantastic unit in this game, up to 114 kills. Some lovely bounce around trying to isolate the opponent. Now, bounce pads massively in favour of Grand Cathay. I can certainly see why. If they can keep some of their crossmen alive, they're going to be in a great position. But we do have a glorious Pit of Shades. This is a fantastic casting. Looks like one unit of Jade Warriors was able to move away. Unfortunately, others are getting sucked into the warp, and the Peasant Longspearmen, as well as the second unit Peasant Longspearmen, just get absolutely destroyed there. That was some glorious casting. Massive HP damage, and up to 205 kills so far on the Herald. The real question is how they're going to deal with the Terracotta Sentinel. Well, they should definitely kill the rest of the army first, focus this bad boy down at the end when you can surround him and kind of weaken him by hitting him in the back and that kind of stuff. It looks like the Brings of Begarment are quite happily chewing through some halberds here. They've been fantastic as well once again. I think they were great in my replay from yesterday as well. They're just one of the best units in the Slaanesh roster, with an absolutely kind of top quality job there. We have a load of units who can come back here for Grand Cathay. Looks like Iron Hell Gunners have a whirled around and going to be shooting into some spearmen, trying to allow the Jade Warriors to carve them to pieces, and that should be a winning combination on the left-hand side. We also have halberds back. It looks like they're currently vibing for now, trying to figure out where to go, and it looks like, once again, the Dragonblight Lord, oh no! The Dragonblight Lord got hit by Fascination, rampaged down into the Eternal Entourage, who are now surrounding him. This is a disaster for the Grand Cathay player. Lovely use of, I believe it's called Blossom Wind. I always forget what it is because we never see it. Blossom Wind, there we go, should have trusted my judgment there. Comes through in an attempt to save the Dragonblight Lord. Alas, it came slightly too late, and he'd already broken and the Eternal Entourage were able to flee. They do get hit by that blinding effect, but it is too little too late. Looks like they're going to be swarming now around the Terracotta Sentinel in an attempt to drag him down. Crossbowmen are opening up fire, as are Iron Hell Gunners. Yet another Pit of Shades. I have no idea how he's managed to get so many Pit of Shades through his Winds of Magic pool, but another one is popped on the Jade Warriors, who are currently rampaging as well, so they can't even dodge. Brings of Begarment doing a fantastic job. This cavalry needs to move around and do some real good hammer and anvil tactics, and that's something that's been a real winning combination for Slaanesh so far, and it looks like they are actually starting to take a bit of a lead, at least according to the balance of power there. Eternal Entourage does bomb rush on top of the Jade Warriors, and it looks like Spearmen were attempting to stop that, as well as the Righteous Lancers. Down just one model, they do decide to die to the last man rather than flee, which is noble, but perhaps a little foolish. We do get an enfeebling foe down Jade Warriors. Don't know if it was needed. They are absolutely destroyed already by the Eternal Entourage. Terracotta Sentinel is still basically at full HP though, and that's a little scary. We do have a Cultist of Slaanesh, a decent melee combatant. Likewise, a Herald of Slaanesh, if she's not being attacked by doing wise cycle charging, can bring a lot of pain to the Terracotta. But likewise, Terracotta, if left in sustained combat, can do really good damage to the Herald. We have a nice overarching view of the battlefield here. It looks like we have some halberds who are fighting Eternal Entourage in the distance here. The remainder of the Grand Cathay army is fleeing in all directions pretty much, apart from a small handful of Jade Warriors and of course the Terracotta Sentinel. Slaanesh not looking that much better though. We do have some whips around and some Eternal Entourage there, but if the Halberds can get to the Terracotta Sentinel quickly, Slaanesh could be in trouble. If they can stack on top of each other and fight, it well could be a game over, because the Spears, or Halberds I should say, could definitely fend off the pesky enemy general, which is really doing the most damage to the Terracotta at the moment. Looks like the Slaanesh player knows this though, and really doesn't want these units grouping up and meeting each other again, so he's moved some Slaanesh Spears over here to take down the Halberds, or at least pin them in place, and hopefully drag them down with other units. Real smart play by the Slaanesh folk. It looks like Terracotta Sentinel does receive an enfeebling foe. He's trying his best up against the Cultist, who's just doing some awesome flips, coming in with the old dual weapons and trying their little hardest. We do have a Sweet Sorrow go down, which is always a fantastic late game ability there used by Slaanesh, and the Terracotta's taken significant damage against the hero and general combination. Halberds are trying to force their way through, but it looks like Spearmen once again do intercept them. We have more troops on the way as well. Now the Terracotta Sentinels realise his mistake. The Grand Cathay players are like, right, I have to fight on top of my Halberds. It's the only way. Narcissism comes down to pin the Jade Warriors in place, so the Terracotta says, well, if you guys aren't going to come to me, I'm going to come to you. And that was a smart idea by the Grand Cathay player, but it's a bit too little too late. Enfeebling foe once again goes down. He is able to break off a large portion here of the enemy infantry. Eternal Entourage screaming like fiends from a different dimension, charge in onto the Terracotta Sentinel. Enfeebling foe is currently popped, and they're doing big burst damage here, though they themselves look all but spent, down to just below 400 HP. The Herald comes in as well, looking so cool. They did a really fantastic job, honestly, on the models in this game, as well as the Warhammer 2 ones and stuff. But the Terracotta is not having a good day. Fascination is doing damage as well as causing that rampage, and the Cathay infantry is just about clinging on. That Cultist Slaanesh is the turning factor in the infantry fight. Heralds are also going to pop over. With the Halberdiers being forced off, it is looking very good for Slaanesh, and the Bounce Power agrees with me. Got some Spearmen left, and yeah, Grand Cathay just don't really have any troops which are realistically going to come back and make much of a difference. And with the Hero and Lord combo, 2v1 in the Terracotta, there is certainly a good chance Slaanesh shall be victorious. The ground is littered with the dead Cathay troops. Herald's just doing a bit of a drive-by there, waving at us, doing a, showing off the camera a little bit, getting ready to rear attack the Terracotta once more. We're going to get yet more spells coming in. It's going to be a Narcissism forcing the Terracotta to stand and fight, but I don't think that was going to be, any question they were going to do that anyway. But just a bit of a, little bit of a middle finger there showing off at the end, taking down the Terracotta. Look what we can make you do. Pin you in place and eviscerate your HP down to just 322 HP. There's simply no chance, and the brave Marauders of Slaanesh get in there to help their Liege Lord slay their dreaded enemy. Very well played to Coops though, really awesome dude. Always fantastic to have him on the channel. He's been around for a long time. He's been on the channel in Warhammer 2 replays, playing on live streams and stuff. Always great to have him about. And yeah, really awesome showdown between these two players. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I was really impressed personally with the Eternal Entourage. 168 kills, 2.1k value, and of course the Bringers of Beguilement were a standout as well. What was your standout unit? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really massively helps push all of these videos, helps us grow, and yeah, so yeah, really is just a nice thing to do. Feel free to leave a comment down below on what your standout unit was and what you thought of the matchup and all that juicy goodness. There's a load of links down below to Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. I've not really been live streaming at all recently. Been very busy in real life, so not been live streaming for about 3 weeks. I'm looking to get back into that. I don't know when that realistically is going to happen. Hopefully we'll be able to do at least one later this week, a bit of a comeback stream, and hopefully go into it more and more. It's been a bit tough though. I'm recovering from surgery still, so I can't sit down, and streaming on your knees for like 3 hours is really painful. So we'll see. I hope I'll be back soon. So I will be streaming on Twitch eventually again. There's also links down below to Discord where you can submit replays and get involved in live streams and all that kind of cool stuff, and send in replays. There's also a link down below to Patreon where you can support the channel financially. Massive shout out to all my Patreons and YouTube members. You can find out more by clicking the membership button underneath this video, and they're the reason that I'm able to do this and keep giving you guys these awesome videos. So until next time guys, peace, and as always, stay awesome.